G'day guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wildkard. Thank you for being here and watching my content and allowing me to talk about the greatest sport in the world, rugby. And this week, Wales will be hosting England for Six Nations Round 3 at home in Cardiff for the wooden spoon. Potentially, right? It looks like the Welsh is way ahead to the race to getting the wooden spoon, okay? And the players was gonna strike this test match at home, by the way, against England. Yes, I did not think anyone would want to forfeit the game against England, giving a free win to England, right? You know, the pleasure of playing against England, of beating England, surely is more than that. But hey, it's the Welsh. The players was not happy with the agreement that the Welsh Rugby Union had proposed, which included a 80% guaranteed pay and a 20% bonus. The players were not happy, said we're going to go on strike if you don't agree to our terms and conditions, which included this changing of this contractual deal and scrapping the 60 selection rule, which means you have to play 60 test caps before eligible for selections in Wales, yada, yada, yada. These guys had some emergency meeting yesterday, I think it was, or maybe a couple of days ago. It was yesterday. And the Welsh Union has bent over a little bit, giving the players a little bit of a leeway. So instead of a variable contract, including with 80% fixed and 20% bonus, some players will be offered fixed contracts and some players will be still offered the variable contract. Also, the union has agreed a financial plan for the clubs, which means that the clubs will be able to issue contracts to the players going forward. And the 60 cap selection rule has been reduced to 25. So it is a big win for the players at a big threat. The Welsh Rugby Union was facing a potential £9 million loss, just the game alone on like TV rights and everything, and not to mention the cascading effect of the sponsorship and then all that stuff going into the future. Just this game alone would cost them £9 million. And Welsh Rugby Union bent over. And finally, with that being said, the two teams, the head-to-head has been actually quite close. 66 wins for England, 60 wins for Wales overall historically, and 12 draws. In recent times, England has slight edge over Wales, basically. So the last year England won. The year before that, Wales did beat England with a red card to one of the English players, if memory serves me correctly. So yeah, England has, I think in recent times has the upper hand over the Welsh, despite this big win for the Welsh a couple of years ago. So going to this match, obviously the Welsh has been pretty horrendous in Six Nations. 2 losses already. Last game against Scotland got convincingly, I would say, dominated by the Scottish team in Edinburgh. So one of the things that really came out for the Welsh is just the polish is not there. Too many penalties, 17 penalties out of the Scottish game, and it just really looked like there was a strategy that Warren Gatland wanted to play, which included a certain amount of kicking. When that kicking game didn't work out, the Welsh set piece didn't have the polish to build upon anything else. So it's really stuck on the rock and hard place for the Welsh. England, not much better. They did beat Italy last game, but Italy had a massive spur of that England was like pretty much won the game in the first half, it looked like, and the Italians basically pulled themselves back into the game. English missed a lot of tackles, had to make a lot of tackles as well against Italy. The set piece with England looked really good in the first half, and then the second half kind of just fell apart. The more defense and stuff just really wasn't quite as polished as it should be. Against Scotland, England as well lost to Scotland at home. A big slap on the face to the English fans, to the English team. Again, this was a game where it looked like England could have won this, but just way too many missed tackles. Just the defense was just horrendous, and although the players has been shuffled around, Bothwell has made drastic changes to this team that plays Scotland. A lot of the remaining players that had tackling issues will be on the field today. So if we have a quick look at just some of the players that's on England's side, defense, missed tackles, Malins, Stewart, Farrell, just not really something ideal. 3 or 4 missed tackles. And if you look at the Italian game, you should not be, something that you expect that the tackle count to be improved. But if you look at it, just as bad. Farrell 5 missed tackles, Slade 4 missed tackles, Mallon's another 2, Freddie Stewart 2, Jamie George 4. That is pretty high. 3. Lutlam, although he made 22 tackles, 3 missed tackles is kind of like acceptable, but yeah, not quite up to standard, the English defense. So going into this match, before we get into the players, the referee will be the greatest referee in the world, Matthew Reynald. You better not pause the clock, Matthew. You better not be pausing the clock at any given time in this game. I will be watching. Anyway, let's have a talk of the game. So this game, I think the path of victory for England should be the set piece. The English has, I think in the both matches, has pretty good set pieces, especially against Italy in that first half. The English just really dominated with the line-out Morse and just really rolled the Italians over. And then the second half, England, just like they did against Scotland, the defense just fell apart. So the English really need to improve their defense and maintain that set-piece dominance. For the Welsh, I did think that their scrum was okay, but the lineouts, it was pretty poor. Ken Owens' lineout execution has been a little bit off, and outside of that, the Welsh really disciplined. The breakdown, there was way too many breakdown issues for both of their test matches. 2 test matches, test matches so far in the Six Nations. So against the English, the breakdown, they can't just give away this much breakdown penalties. But in terms of the kicking game, I do think that the Welsh actually have a slightly better kicking game than English. The English kicking game has been very basic. Just kind of like long ball into your 22, whereas the Welsh has a strategic plan of high ball into the 10-meter line, in the opposition 10-meter line, and, grab a kick behind into the corners once they're inside the opposition half. So it's very clear strategy in the Welsh kicking game, but how that's going to go, we shall see, because the Wales do have a very surprising selection at 10. So let's start with the forward pack. Gareth Thomas comes in for Wales. Ken Owens at number 2. Like I said, Ken Owens is the captain, and he is his lineouts has not been really good. Like the throw really needs to be packed just 100% this week. There's no silly like overthrows, not straight, that sort of stuff. Really needs to get that down. Ken Owens. Thomas Francis comes in number 3. In terms of the scrummaging, I do think this front row is quite decent. I would say be evenly matched with the English scrummaging. The English scrum has been quite dominant, to be fair. Ellis Genji comes in number 1. Jamie George number 2, and Carl Sinclair number 3. The English scrum has been pretty much like the highlight of the English team for me anyway. Especially when Dan Cole comes off the bench. He is on the bench again today. Just really makes a big difference with the English scrum. And really a lot of dominance. It does look like the English likes to, get their loose head to go in a little bit on the tight head. And also in the second half, Dan Cole liked to kind of go in from the tight head side when he comes on the field as well. So it's like the England do like to wield the scrum from the loose head side in this first half, and second half, Dan Cole will try to wheel it from the tight head side. So it's a very different kind of like maneuvers for the English scrum based on who's on the field. So really interested to see how Wales can handle that. Which I do think that the English has an advantage there in terms of the scrummaging. Adam Beard, Alan Wynne-Jones get called back into the squad at number 5. Alan Wynne-Jones, I wasn't very impressed like at all against Ireland. He looked tired. So for some reason, Gatland felt like he's good enough to be returning to number 5. So Wynne-Jones is returning. Maybe give the home crowd something to cheer about after they lose, or someone to boo after they lose, someone to blame on after they lose. I don't know. Maori Toji and Ollie Chisholm returns to number 4 and 5 jersey for the England side. And then the loose forwards, this is where Welsh really hurt themselves quite a bit in the breakdowns. Chris Swinzer, number 6, gets another nod in the blindside flanker position. Justin Tipuric gets returned to number 7 after being dropped for a couple of weeks now. And then Falatau gets called up number 8 once again. He was on the bench last week. Again, not last week, 2 weeks, last round, 2 weeks ago against what was his name? Against Scotland. So Gatland has opted to bring back a lot of the experience, unlike against Scotland. So for the England's in the loose forwards, Lewis Lutlam, I thought he was a really good ball carrier for England. I was surprised how good, of a strong carrier he is for England's side. So really good to see him again. Number 6, 111 kilos, extremely large for a loose forwards. I think he could potentially be he's like large enough to be a lock essentially. And then you got Jack Willis, 107 kilos at number 7. Alex Donbrandt gets number 8 jersey once again. Again, another big ball carrier for the England side. So the ball carrying abilities for the England loose forwards is definitely something that England probably has a bit of edge over as well, over Wales. In the back line, big changes. Number 10, Owen Williams has been called in up to number 10 over Dan Biggar. Yeah, pretty big call. Biggar was pretty off last game against Scotland. He was like yelling at what's his name, the winger, what's his name, the new guy. He was caught like yelling at his rookie, and for after he dropped the ball, and he was really like not in, he was being a bit toxic, looked like, and really not playing to the best. The kicking game was a bit off last round. So Owen Williams comes in number 10, only 3 caps for Wales. Thomas Williams, they probably will be the one that makes a lot of the decisions on the field. At number 9, potentially a lot of box kicks. For England, Jack Van Povier will be the guy that brings a lot of speed on the breakdown. His box kicking hasn't been that great, but I think really Povier shouldn't be box kicking. He's much better at just attacking and try to get the ball out as quickly as the speed of the breakdown is really what he's good at. And every time I see him do a box kick, I just think it's like a waste of his talent, to be honest. Owen Farrell gets the number 10 jersey once again. He played 10 last round. And I do think that Owen Farrell is much better at 10 than 12. But whether or not he's the best 10 option, I do think Marcus Smith might be the better 10 right now for England. But yeah, Owen Farrell definitely gives that more of a steady option for number 10. But in terms of attacking, I do think that Marcus Smith has a better, bit more flair. But anyway, Mark Smith is on the bench. Number 11, Rhys Zamme returns for Wales at number 11. Anthony Watson returns for England, number 11. Watson has been back for a couple of weeks now. He's been injured for a while. He was on the bench, but he gets a start at number 11 this weekend. Joe Hawkins, someone that really surprised me to be just spectacularly good for Wales, especially under the 12 jersey. Almost a second playmaker. So with that in mind, without Dan Biggar, the Welsh backline probably will rely on Hawkins a little bit more as a playmaker, and just really, he's got that lightning fast hands. Just really good vision as well around the park. So we shall see how that's going to play out. Ollie Lawrence, on the other hand, is someone that I thought was much better than Owen Farrell last week. His performance against Italy, 2 weeks ago against Italy, was quite impressive. A lot of physicality, a lot of speed, something that Owen Farrell just didn't have out of the 12 jersey. So I'd really, fancy seeing him pretty much as a permanent 12. And I hope Owen Farrell never goes to 12 again. And it would be good to see how he match up against Joe Hawkins. 2 kind of different style there in the number 12. Number 13, Mason Grady, going to be debuting for Wales. Henry Slade returns for England, number 13. Josh Adams, number 14. Max Malins, number 14 as well. And number 15, Lee Halfpenny. He's been injured for on and off, and he has been he was named to play like 2 weeks ago, I think, and then or maybe it was like in round 1. But he was like named to play, and then he got injured just before like kickoff or something, and he had to be changed. So yeah, hopefully he's gonna play this weekend. And I was surprised by Liam Williams' performance. I thought he was quite good. So Halfpenny must have done a lot of very impressive stuff behind the scene to be selected at 15, despite the fact that he really hasn't had that much international test time for like a couple of years now, right? He's been out for so long. But yeah, Gatlin really favors him at number 15, it looks like. Freddie Stewart, definitely the best number 15. Probably one of the best number 15s under the high board in the world. But his kicking game is still lacking a little bit. He does have a really big boot, like a lot of range in that kicks. But in terms of accuracy and just, not like being able to find those angles, not quite there yet. But Freddie Stewart, definitely a weapon to reckon with. On the bench, Bradley Roberts for number 16 for Wales. Reece Kerr, number 17 for Wales, and Dylan Lewis, number 18. England, Jack Walker, number 16. Marco Vinopola, number 17. And Dan Cole. I really want to see how he's going to go this game. I'm surprised that Dan Cole hasn't just been straight up put into the tight head at number 3 and having Sinclair off the bench. But Dan Cole, every time he comes to the bench, I was really impressed by him, especially in that scrummaging. And the number 19, Daffy Jenkins gets dropped to the bench. Courtney Lawes, another huge return for England. Courtney Lawes is someone that's been missing for quite a while now, and he's been a really key part of the England side for Eddie Jones, in fact. And I felt like England lost a lot of those matches in November due to Courtney Lawes not available. So his return is really huge. And also, it looks like Courtney Lawes is positioned as a lock, not a flanker this time, which is really important because Eddie Jones likes to play Courtney Lawes as a flanker, and I do think that Courtney Lawes is the best lock in England. Yeah. Anyway, number 20, Tommy Raffle for Wales. Ben Curry gets that flanker position for England at number 20. 21, Kieran Hardy. 21 for England, Alex Mitchell. Number 22, Dang Bigger. Marcus Smith gets number 22 for England. Nick Tompkins finally returns to Wales. Someone I've been very impressed with under Pivac. And Gatland really felt that he wanted a second playmaker, I guess. And have, what's his name? Having Joe Hawkins at number 12. I was impressed by Joe Hawkins as well, but Tompkins is just such a workhorse. On the field, makes so many tackles. Just really able to run really hard, like lots of carries. Just absolute physical workhorse. Something you kind of want from a 12. But I think Gatland having Tompkins off the bench is a really good option to finish off the game. At England, the number 23, Henry Arundel, finish off the reserves for England side. So overall, I think the battle will be won for England in the 4-pack. If Wales, I think if the Welsh kicking game will be the only way potentially getting them out of a lot of the trouble. But it really depends on how sloppy the English are in their defense. I do think that the only chance Welsh has got is try to keep the game played in England half, so that England's forward dominance not really going to impact, not going to inflict too much damage. But overall, I do see the England winning this one. I'll be surprised if somehow the Welsh pull out a win on this one. I do think there could be a close game because the Welsh likes to make it difficult, likes to make the game grindy, so it could be close. I think England might win by 3. Let's say 21-18. So let me know your thoughts, guys. Let me know your comments down below, your predictions. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you guys, I think maybe tomorrow, to the Scotland and French game lineup. Cheers.